What's going on, Gains Gang? Today we got a huge video, man. So Distefano was just on Joe Rogan again, and this is got a ton of views already. It was just released a few hours ago. It basically is where he shares his real life stories about Ted Bundy and the son of Sam. These stories are insane. I heard kind of clip notes of them before, but this is 15 minutes long, so hopefully we get a full breakdown. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Go over to my Patreon, check out more exclusive content. I love you all, as always. Let's get it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
That's sick. That's my favorite follow. That's Stoic Instagram.
Oh, Stoic is great. Yeah. Ryan Holiday's great too.
Oh yeah, Ryan Holiday. Yeah, he looks like the guy that killed 4 college students in Idaho.
He does.
That's who I thought it was. I was like, oh, the Stoic is a mass murderer.
He's out. He's out. He's writing books about just being cool about everything. But
did you hear that, by the way, with Idaho? They're thinking about bringing back the firing squad if he gets convicted.
Oh my God. Whoa. Well, they think he might have killed people in Washington State too. Is that where it was? It was somewhere else. There was another place where he lived where similar crime took place, and they think he was studying crime in college in order to get better at it.
Right.
It's really evil. It's an evil, scary story.
Yeah.
If all this they're accusing him is accurate, it's horrific that guy was out there.
Right, dude. You want to hear a wild story? So my mom had a friend.
Let's see if we could find out if that's true, though.
Yeah.
Which part?
The part where they think that he might have committed a similar crime. Excuse me, somewhere else.
This is a serial killer in Idaho. I think he like killed a ton of people, guys, like 5 or 6, 7 people, like a serial killer. You know, I read an FBI statistic before. It said that at any one time in the United States, there's 35 to 50 serial killers. That is a terrifying statistic, and they classify serial killers as like random killings of like 5 or more people. So that's terrifying, guys. And they also, I googled Ireland, and the FBI said that Ireland has at least 1 serial killer that we don't know about yet. So right now at this current time, there's some random serial killer going around the country because there's a lot of killings like in Dublin that they don't know about. They don't know what happened. So that's pretty terrifying as well, guys. Hope you sleep well tonight. Let's get it.
Here we go. See, this is what's happening now in an intermittent fasting stomach. I'm going to start getting crazy. It's going to, it might get bad in here.
Want to take another sniff?
Why the hell not?
All right, here we go. Ready?
Oh, that was deep.
Oh,
Joey went in.
I went in.
Okay.
Get in there, Chrissy. Woo, Jamie? No, Jamie said no. I didn't even get his full name out before no was coming out of his mouth.
Jamie, that one burned. That one fogged up my glasses. That one burned, baby.
I get it, dude. I want to lift right now. I want to do some deadlifts.
I seriously like. Yeah, like I want to fucking. I want to. Yeah,
put the lid on it.
I want to like start doing jujitsu with you. I don't even know how to do it.
There's nothing like a freshie when you open them up fresh.
That is a freshie. Yeah,
when you let them sit for a while, they lose a lot of their potency. Like we had one that was here for a few months, and it had lost a lot of kick. But damn, when you open them fresh.
I don't see anything about other crimes. I'm looking still.
I believe it was where he was originally going to school.
Yeah, it said he was Washington State.
Yeah, but just did you Google may have possibly committed similar crime in Washington State?
Washington crimes.
Okay.
Just Google may have possibly committed, wanted for possibly committing similar crime.
A lot of serial killers come from this part of the country.
He could be major link to other murders. This is it. And this is in Newsweek.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, though.
No, it says new evidence recovered may be a major link to the Idaho murders. He's been accused of fatally stabbing University of Idaho students. The search warrant, which was reported by the New York Times, discussed several items which were taken from his residence. Where is the thing about the other cases? Oh, here it is.
Attending another place. But.
And December 30th, he was arrested at his parents' residence in Pennsylvania. Extradited to Idaho, where he's currently charged. Koberger was attending Washington State University at the time of the murders.
Yeah, he looks like the guy from the Stoic.
But there was some, he does looks a lot like him. But Ryan Holiday's quite a bit more handsome. It's
Ryan
like
Holiday's
his older, like meaner brother.
Ryan Holiday, hottie with a body.
But
it says Pennsylvania was sifting through cold cases for links to him.
Oh, it was Pennsylvania?
That's where he was found.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's they pulled him over, and it was in his parents' house. And because remember, the media was saying we don't have any leads, but the FBI was following him across the country.
Yeah, they can't just leak.
Yeah, you can't do
information. They're in the middle of an investigation of a fucking psycho.
But it is wild, like with these he's famous now for these murders, but as you said, could be stuff before. My mom had a friend, right, grew up in Utah. Maybe she's 18, 19 years old. I don't know, whatever year, 70s, 80s, whatever.
This is crazy.
Goes on a date with a guy, right? Normal date, just met him, I think, at the supermarket. Goes on a date with this guy, and she's at the table with him, and she feels very like a ominous feeling looking at this man. She's like, I'm looking at him, and I can see like there's nothing behind his eyes. Like there's just something that I don't like about this guy. So to the point where she has never done this, had never, she was only 18, but since this has never done this, she went to a payphone at the restaurant, called her brother, and was like, can you please come pick me up like immediately? And stayed in the bathroom until her brother was outside and went in the car and left. And she was like, I'm just creeped out by this guy. I can't explain it. I'm creeped out. All this energy, I'm creeped out. Now, this man had picked her up from her house. So the brother had a paper route. He's leaving the next morning at 5 a.m., sees some ruffling in the bushes. Okay? Crazy, right? Like whatever, sees a guy running out of the bushes, says, holy shit, whatever, runs back in the house, tells his mom and dad, sister wakes up, says he was wearing like a beige jacket. She's like, that's the guy I was on a date with. Like that, he was like waiting. He must have been like waiting for me, right? Whatever.
Shit,
goes on, life goes on. What a psycho, lunatic boyfriend. 3 years later, Ted Bundy on the news. She was on a date with Ted Bundy before he had committed any murders. Or he had committed murders but had not been famous for it yet.
Dude, this story gets me every time, bro. I've heard this before. Not in detail like this, but crazy.
Had not been convicted of it yet. She said when he saw him, she literally almost fell out of her chair because she was like, that look. She said that Ted Bundy, about, how everyone says he's so handsome, whatever. She said he would get a look over him when he was preying on a victim, which felt she was being preyed on, that she doesn't even look. He's like, he does not look like that. His face configures and contorts to something that looks so sinister that she literally was like, get me away from him now.
Holy shit, bro, this is just so terrifying. This is why we should have guns in Ireland, guys. Like, straight up, man. I know he used to use guns to kill people as well, though, so maybe not. Like, yeah, we need some sort of self-defense, guys. This country's insane, dude. America, I'm talking about. That is insane, dude. Ted Bundy, going on a date with Ted Bundy. Oh my god.
So I was like, whoa, fucking Teddy B. Imagine you on a date with with a young Teddy B. That'd be fucking nuts, dude.
So he had already committed murders. So he was already, so he was looking to murder her, and he was giving that energy out.
She said, based off when all his crimes were exposed, from what the FBI said, when she went on a date with him, let's say it was 1978, he had already been connected to murders in other parts of that. Because his first murders were in like the Utah region, and that's where they were.
Holy shit.
Wild, right?
Holy shit.
Dude, fucking, it's pretty nuts. And then, I think I might have said this on the last one, but T.T. Jerry, when she was in prison, served prison time with the son of Sam. She shared a wall with the son of Sam. 2 murderers. She shared a wall with the son of Sam and Ronald DeFeo from the Amityville Horror House, the man who killed all those people in the movie The Amityville Horror, who was really based off Ronald DeFeo. She was in prison with both of them at the same time, and the prisoners from Escape from Dannemora, who like that Showtime show that they made. So she was in like real deal prisoners. But
man, America is just like a friggin' movie. When I was in America, man, it just. Even in Canada for a month, like, I know I keep saying this, like, but when you just cross over into the U.S., it's so surreal, man. Like, we crossed this bridge from Canada into the U.S., and maybe not a lot of people felt like that, but it felt so surreal, bro. Like, it felt like a friggin' movie. Like, holy shit, this is so crazy. Like, there's so much going on, and it was just nuts, guys. Shit was crazy, dude.
Said, the son of Sam. Now, this was months before the Netflix documentary came out. T.T. Jerry said, she's like, the son of Sam, David, did not kill all those people. He was involved in a cult. There were other murderers, but the city pinned it all on him. And then a few months later, this Netflix documentary came out a couple of years ago, basically saying that most likely Son of Sam did not kill all those people. He killed maybe 1 or 2, but there was other murderers that just got away with it.
Do you know the Henry Lee Lucas story?
Henry Lee Lucas. Well,
Henry Lee Lucas, they made a film about him called Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Okay.
And it's a guy who got arrested for 62 murders. And he was basically a drifter, and he was traveling across the country murdering people.
Okay.
But they think that what really happened was they came up to him and they said, hey, Henry, there was a few people that were killed behind the bushes in Indianapolis in 76. We'd sure love to solve that crime. Was that you? Yep, that's me. I killed them too. Well, did you do it with a knife? Because we found a knife. Yep, knife. Killed him with a knife.
Yeah.
And this guy was basically a dullard and may have killed people. Like, a lot of drifters have killed people. But it seems like, Google that, make sure I'm correct on this. I think now they think that they attributed a bunch of crimes to him that he couldn't possibly have committed.
It's a wild thing.
The depraved serial killer who confessed to hundreds of murders.
Jeez.
See, this is it. So it was more than 62, which is what I think he was originally charged with. 600 people. Okay.
600?
Drawn together by shared childhood trauma.
We're gonna call a cap on that, guys. Yeah, he's capping.
Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole became lovers, then serial killers who terrorized America in the 1970s.
We're calling a cap on that.
But he confessed to hundreds of murders, but they think that some of them he couldn't possibly have done.
Looks like a dipshit.
But did he stay in prison for the rest of his life because of it?
Yeah, I think they might have killed him
in prison.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's still alive. But see if he got if that's a story that they got him to confess to a bunch of murders that he couldn't have actually done.
That's a common thing, though, right? People confess to stuff all the time. There's a show on Apple TV. It was called Blackbird. It just came out last year. It's about a real story about a guy who, what his tactic would be is he murdered a lot of people, but he would say to the police, "Oh, I murdered that girl in that county. I'm confessing to it." But then they would go through the research and be like, "No, you couldn't have possibly." But he would cop to it.
I saw that.
But,
yeah.
And then the cops would be like, "He did that like 5 times." They'd be like, every county he was investigating, they'd be like, "That's what he does. He confesses to murders. He's a bullshitter." But he really was killing people. He was confessing to false ones so he could get away with the real ones.
Holy
wild, right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
shit.
So it's like some of these guys are so smart.
It's a cool show.
Dude, the show Black.
Holy
This
shit.
actor, I think is William Hauser. Something.
good.
This is one of the best actors in my generation. No, Joe, I don't know if you know this guy. This guy's acting is like Daniel Day-Lewis level. He is a phenomenal actor. When you watch the
Really?
show Blackbird, you cannot believe it. Where I'm like,
And this is on Apple Plus?
Apple TV. This is one of the best shows I've seen. Came out last summer.
No shit.
This
heard about
kid
that,
is literally like phenomenal. And then I'm watching 101 Dalmatians a day later with my kids, and he's in that. I'm like, look at this fucking lunatic.
He plays Rich.
You got some serial killer to freaking 101 Dalmatians. Guys, I love Distefano, man. It's so funny. Like, Distefano is one of the best comedians in America, man. It's freaking legend. Bro.
Jewel.
Yes.
So funny.
Richard Jewell movie about the Olympic Park bombing.
Yep.
Wow.
Unbelievable actor. He was also in that sketch show, I Think You Should Leave, on Netflix, which is one of the funniest sketch shows I've ever seen in my life. He's got great sketches in that. That guy, but that show, Blackbird, was it's unbelievable. So basically what happens is this guy who's from he's from a bunch of movies. This kid is ripped, by the way. This kid has to be intermittent fasting.
He's in The Watchmen.
Those little short kind of whips, man. It's so funny.
Not The Watchmen.
With Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Yeah.
It's a famous movie, and he's excellent in it. But basically, the premise of it's based on a true story. This guy, the hottie with the body, he gets convicted 10 years in prison for gun charges. I think he's a guy out of Massachusetts. So, and he was a good con man, right? This is all real. Good con man, could gift a gab, whatever. So the FBI wants to pin the guy with the mutton chops, Hauser. They want to pin, Larry Hall is his name in real life, they want to pin murders on him. They know that they've kind of caught up to his game now. They know that he lies about murders here to commit murders here. They know it, but they got to get him to confess to one of these murders because they found the girl's body, because he was killing kids, like 14-year-old girls, like brutal shit, raping them, horrific. So they say to this kid, to the jacked guy, they say, "Look, you got the gift of gab. You got 10 years in federal prison, okay? You're 3 months into your sentence. We're going to transfer you to this maximum security prison where Larry Hall is. If you can get him to confess to the murder of this girl that we have evidence on, and you can get that, your sentence is commuted immediately and you're out of prison. That's all you got to do." But he was in a minimum security prison, so he would be able to either coast through 10 years or take a chance and go to the prison with murderers, rapists, and potentially be murdered in the shower stall. But if he can get this guy gift a gab and get him to confess, then he'll get out.
Holy shit.
And that's what the show's about.
Awesome.
And it was, dude, amazing show. Like, edge of my seat. It was one of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
That's
I want to watch it. I want to watch it again on smelling salts.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm fucking pumped about that. I've been looking for a new show.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, let me just finish the thought about Jerry. What I want to say is the Son of Sam thing. He said, he was a serial killer, yes, and don't get me wrong, murderer, deserves to be in prison. He said the biggest fucking lunatic. Like, he was like the only person who I met. I was like, this guy needs to be like either put to death or kept like in a cage, like under the jail. He said was Ronald DeFeo, who the Amityville Horror House guy, because he said he would cook for him all the time, Ronald DeFeo, and he would like let Ronald DeFeo like jerk off to him. They would put like a prison mirror, and he would like, because he was trans, Jerry, so he would shake his ass a little bit and let Ronald like get his rocks off, whatever. He didn't care. He said, but every morning he would make Ronald DeFeo Jr. like a little breakfast and his little, they had like little hot stoves in there. They would let prisoners like Jerry, after you did enough time, give you some stuff. He'd make a little bacon and stuff for him. And he said every morning, like clockwork, 7 days a week, every morning, bring Ronald his food and say, how was your night, Ronald? How you feeling? He was like, good. I feel good. I didn't kill my grandma. It's the only thing. I killed everyone in that house, but I did not get my grandma. So, but everything else, other than that, it's good. And Jerry'd be like, okay. And then keep moving. So he's like, still, he's in prison for and that is true. The only one he didn't kill in that house, the grandma either got out or wasn't there, but he was like, there's no rehabilitation for that man. He genuinely believes if he does not kill he would say to him, if I don't kill my grandma, I'm not getting into heaven. So he had it warped. He killed his entire family. And he's like, that's how I get to heaven, but I got to get the grandma. And then he died in prison recently. But I was like, whoa, shit. I know it's wild.
Dude, some of those guys, insane, man. Holy hell, man. Just, bro, hearing some of these stories on Joe Rogan is insane. Hope you guys enjoy that, man. Absolute legend. Distefano, one of the best comedians of all time. Leave in the comments down below if you guys want to see more from me and him reacting to him. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.